How you guys doing? Are you all right? You doing okay? I'm just surfacing. I feel like I'm just emerging from the deep and I can finally breathe for the first time. For those just tuning in, I'm just wrapping up the comic trading pack project, which has been an intensely insane project. And by the time you're watching this, all the packs have shipped out. So stay tuned for a future video. I want to try to do it later this week if I have time to kind of go into all the details about all of that. But in the meantime, collections have been piling up here at the shop. And it's a combination of just getting a bunch of good stuff all at the same time and then also just not having time to slowly work through it. So in this video, I want to just go over some of the highlights of all of them. I believe it's over $175,000 worth of comics. And if you had $175,000 to spend on comics, this would be a great selection. I mean, there is just nothing but heat and just awesome books in these collections. So I'm excited to go through them with you here tonight. The bulk of it is the AF-15 and the ASM-1, which I'll show you. But there's also there was a $2,500 collection. There's a $46,000 collection. That's what I paid. A $7,200, a $3,100, and a $24,000 collection that all came in this week. So if you're looking to sell your collection, I'm always buying. I pay really fair prices. I'm getting a lot of feedback from people that, you know, the prices are great and oftentimes, you know, it beats any other offer. But sometimes I've even had people that say, you know, I can get a little bit more somewhere else, but I'd rather do it with you. I mean, I know I don't have to stress about it. There's absolutely no pressure whatsoever. If you send me a list, I'll give you my best offer and that's it. I'm not going to call you. I'm not going to double tap you. I have so much going on that I don't need to like chase things down. So there's no pressure and, you know, people have no problem sending me $175,000 worth of comics because there's never been a problem and there never will be. So trust and, you know, feeling good about the deal, I think goes a really long way in life and especially in comics. So most of the books that you see here today in this video will be available at brycecomics.com. Use code COLLECT10 for 10% off everything except big boy books, and there's a lot of big boy books here. And if you don't see it on the site, it may have already come and gone, but also it's going to take me probably next week to actually price all of this. So if you sign up for that newsletter, that's when you get notified that a new batch has been listed, and stuff goes really quick because it's super fairly priced and you get a great key at a great price. You know, it does go fast. So make sure you sign up for that newsletter. So I have the collection still like separated. This is the $46,000 collection. This is the stuff that I'm not going to show you. And again, like none of this stuff is junk. Like this didn't make the cut for this video. A 9/8 signed. This whole box is Amazing Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man 2. That one could have made the cut. The annual. This whole box is ASM keys. ASM 50, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. This $46,000 collection is just all heat. And then this is the $10,000 collection. There's a couple books in here that were part of a trade as well that I want to talk about. And then this is, I believe, the $24,000 collection. So let's start with arguably the most important comic of the Silver Age, Amazing Fantasy number 15 in a 5.5, the origin and first appearance of Spider-Man. I mean, it just hits a little different when you see this book in any grade, but especially in mid-grade. And this one sold this morning for $53,000. And then accompanying it, we have this bad boy here, Amazing Spider-Man number 1 in a 6.0. This is the UK price variant. And it's also the first appearance of the Chameleon, which was cool to see him, you know, in the live-action Craven movie that just came out. First solo series for Spider-Man, first appearance of J. Jonah Jameson, and the origin of Spider-Man is retold. Just a classic Spidey key. All right, let's do some big boy Hulk keys from the $46,000 collection. Hulk number 1 in a 1.5, origin and first appearance of the Incredible Hulk. I mean, man. Hulk 181 in a 9.4 with white pages and the custom label. Absolutely gorgeous. Red Hulk, first Red Hulk, for Hulk #1. And you're going to see this comparison actually several times in this video, where I would prefer this over most 9.8 copies. I mean, there's several different variants that are super rare and stuff, but to have it signed by Stan Lee and with that custom sketch, even though it's a 9.6, it's a really, really unique collectible, and it's not a rare book by any stretch of the imagination. There's actually even a lot of signed copies, but to have it signed by Stan Lee and a cool sketch puts it at, you know, the top of the heap. Marvel Premiere 4798, Scott Lang becomes the new Ant-Man. And here's another example of what I'm talking about of, I prefer the lower grade with a unique copy over the 9.8. And this one is particularly cool because the price of this, even with the extra signature, so it's signed by Shameik Moore, who's the voice actor for Miles Morales. It has this awesome drip signature by Clayton Crane, who did the pencils on the interior of this issue. And it's signed by Brian Michael Bendis, the original architect of the Ultimate Universe. I mean, this is just such a unique collectible. And I would absolutely prefer this over a 9.8. And this is probably about half the price of a 9.8. So I think this is a really cool opportunity for someone to get this mega modern key first Miles Morales. And then this is, I think, the last example of that where I'd prefer this 9.4 newsstand signature series over a 9.8 because it has this custom sketch on the bottom by Joe Rubinstein. And look at that, it's Wolverine smoking a cigarette or a cigar or a pipe or something. I mean, that is dope. You know, that is super cool to have on there. And it's also signed by Chris Claremont and Frank Miller. Triple signed and sketched with the custom label. Newsstand edition. I mean, absolutely gorgeous. We have some more high-grade 9.8 X-Men, which is always really cool to see. X-Men 102 in a 9.8. So I think there was like 6 or 7 X-Men 9.8 books that I paid over $10,000 for, and these are the only 3 left. The other ones actually already sold like the first day. X-Men 104 in a 9.8 white pages, an exceptional copy. I call it the poor man's version of X-Men #1 because it homages X-Men 1. And I think it's like $1,100 I have it at, which is the lowest price it's been since 2019, and it's an exceptional copy. So lots of those sales since 2019 did not look this good and did not have white pages. And this is a book that has always eluded me. It's an X-Men Mega Grail. It's a 9.8 white. This book in 9.8 is just incredibly tough to get, and it's super rare, and it's just one of those things that, you know, X-Men collectors really covet this in a 9.8 white. It's a really nice copy. I think this outperforms a 9.8 white of X-Men 120 and 21, maybe even combined. The first appearance of Alpha Flight, and this is the first full appearance of the Starjammers. Really cool to see this one. Tough to let it go. Anytime a book comes in that's like that you just don't see or get the opportunity to come through the shop, it's difficult, but certainly not in my budget to keep. I think it's like a $6,000 book. We got tons of classic Silver Surfer keys, like Silver Surfer 4. Here's a 9.8 signed by Todd McFarlane, Spawn 1. New Teen Titans 2 Newsstand Edition for the first appearance of Deathstroke. Marvel Spotlight 5, I believe an 8.5 as well. First appearance of Ghost Rider. Marvel Superheroes 20, classic Doom cover, and an 8.5. Hulk 180 in a 7.0 with white pages and a custom label. Journey into Mystery 85 and a 4.5, the first appearance of Loki. Black Cat #1, J. Scott Campbell edition G from 2019 with the Black Cat noir in the background. This is a J. Scott Campbell Grail. I believe it's like over $1,000 for this book. It's signed by J. Scott Campbell. It's got, I mean, you can see why this is such a coveted J. Scott Campbell book. Spawn #192, this is the black and white edition from 1997. Oh, no big deal, just an Amazing Spider-Man 300 and a 9.8 with white pages for the first appearance of Venom. How about Amazing Spider-Man 4 in a 1.0, first appearance of Sandman. And Amazing Spider-Man 194 in a 9.8, the first appearance of the Black Cat. I'm kind of losing track of which collections these are coming from, so we're just going to do just enjoy the show, folks. I mean, this is just some crazy eye candy. Tales of Suspense 31. This is the first prototype of Doctor Doom, and this is an exceptional color strike on this. Look at the colors on this. Look at the colors on this book. I mean, it looks wet. It's just drippy. I mean, look, even the back. Very, very nice presenting copy of that book. Silver Surfer #1 in an 8.5. Fantastic Four #6 in a 4.5. First Marvel villain team up and second appearance of Doctor Doom. Marvel Team Up 141 in a 9.8. Fantastic Four Annual #2, one of my all-time favorite, probably my all-time favorite Doom cover. Fantastic Four Annual #2 in a 6.0, The Origin of Doctor Doom. And Amazing Spider-Man #5 in a 5.0, the first Doctor Doom appearance outside of the Fantastic Four and just ASM 5. Another contender for one of the best Doom covers of all time, Marvel Superheroes #10, 9.8 newsstand, white pages. ASM 238, 9.4 white pages, newsstand. FF 50 and an 8.0 with white pages. X-Men 101, 9.6 white, custom label. New Mutants 98 and a 9.8 with white pages, newsstand edition. I mean, almost as good as it gets. This is like top tier first appearance of Deadpool. Amazing Spider-Man Annual #1, one of my all-time favorite Spidey covers. I think it's the trade dress that does it for me. All those different colors in the trade dress, really unique. Tomb of Dracula 10 and an 8.0, the first appearance of Blade. Star Wars #1 in a 9.4 with white pages. Silver Surfer 3 and a 7.0, first appearance of Mephisto. Another Silver Surfer 1, this one at more affordable 6.5. Iron Man and Submariner #1 in a 9.0. Incredible Hulk Annual #1, classic Jim Steranko cover, one of my favorite, all-time favorite Hulk covers. Hulk 181, this one in a 3.0. So these books actually, this little chunk right here, are books that I got in a trade for a Hulk 181 9.0 that I had. Fantastic Four #36 and an 8.5, the first appearance of the Frightful Four, including my all-time favorite B-tier villain, Paste Pot Pete, and also the first appearance and cover of Medusa. I absolutely love this key. For whatever reason, I think it was like one of the first Silver Age keys that I ever bought, and it's for whatever reason, it just has like a soft spot in my heart. I would love to own like a really, really high-grade copy of this book. Fantastic Four #48 in a 3.5, and Batman 181 in a 5.5, the first appearance of Poison Ivy. ASM 299 in a 9.8 with white pages, newsstand edition. Hulk 340 in a 9.8. Spider-Man 2099 #1 from 2001. This is the Toy Biz reprint in a 9.6. Wolverine Limited Series #1, 9.8 newsstand, and gotta have the 9.8 direct white page copy to go with it. Predator #1, 9.8, couple copies of that. X-Men 94 in a 9.2 with white pages, an exceptional copy. I mean, it presents like a 9.8. You really have to hunt for the defects, and they are there. They're in the grader's notes. I considered cracking it out, but you know, it's always a gamble when you do CPR, and I think somebody would be really happy to own this as a 9.2 white pages. I mean, look at the deep colors, and it almost looks like it was just printed with custom label. X-Men, Giant Size X-Men #1 in a 6.5 with white pages, signed by Stan Lee. Absolutely awesome book right there. Avengers #4 in a 4.5 for Silver Age appearance of Captain America. X-Men, X-Factor 24 in a 9.8 white newsstand edition. I don't think I've ever seen a 9.8 white newsstand of this book come through the shop. It's just notoriously one of those books that's in every raw book collection and is just beat to all hell. So to see a 9.8 white newsstand is really cool. Some more heat to round it out here. How about Marvel Spotlight #5 and an 8.5 origin and first appearance of Ghost Rider. This probably wasn't supposed to be in there. It's an awesome book, but not of the caliber of the other books. Wolverine Limited Series #4, 9.8 white newsstand. Yeah, these just weren't supposed to be in there. But look how awesome this Blade cover is. Very cool spot foil. So these are the books that didn't make the cut. And again, none of it is junk. I mean, there's just heat in all of these, but I'm out of time. I got to get these listed on the website. Look at this cool Chisel Sig 9/8 white newsstand for the second appearance of Deadpool. A bunch of Something is Killing the Children keys. I mean, it just goes on and on. This is the stuff over here that didn't make the cut. Look, I have this in my PC, 9/8 white newsstand. How about a 9/8 white newsstand Spidey? ASM 361, 9.8 First Carnage. I mean, just some awesome books. All of these Batman books that I just don't have time to show you. Some really cool Batman books. A really cool run of this story arc in 9/8 white. Some of them are signed. More Batman books over here. Like I said, this whole box is Amazing Spider-Man keys. So very, very fun times, very cool times here at Bryce Comics. Look at that custom sketch for the first Winter Soldier. So amazing times here at Bryce Comics. I'm really looking forward to going through these books this evening, if I have time after the Whatnot show, to just put them all in alphabetical order and just enjoy them. Because like I said, I mean, if you had $175,000 to spend on comics and you wanted like all the keys, I mean, they're mostly all right here. And so I'm just super grateful to you guys for, you know, trusting me with your collections and all the support and everything. Like, I'm just like, it's kind of surreal, and I'm really enjoying it. I hope you are too. Catch me over on Whatnot Friday nights. We're going to get back to business as usual here now that the packs are out, and we'll have slab shows, and it's going to be good times over there as well. I hope you guys are enjoying this change in seasons, and thank you for sticking with me to the end of the video. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.